Oh, how the powerful have collapsed. Prince Harry never expected it, but Australia showed no mercy, and the public dismissal of Meghan Markle during their recent trip was as harsh as it was hard to overlook. What was supposed to be a joyful return to one of their strongest support bases quickly turned into a massive wake-up call. Rather than the warm greeting they anticipated, Harry is now heading home feeling completely defeated. And insiders say the pain is made even sharper by the fact that the cold treatment was directed mostly at his wife. Go back to 2018 and everything looked totally different. Fresh from their magical royal wedding, Harry and Meghan landed in Australia like genuine superstars, and Sydney went completely wild for them. Thousands of supporters waited for hours just to catch a brief glimpse of the glowing newlyweds. It was by every standard the couple's finest moment. The kind of welcome most royals only fantasize about. So what on earth changed between then and now? Hold tight because the difference is absolutely shocking.
It was a hug from Harry that brought a woman to tears. India Brown had been waiting patiently since 4 a.m.
Just to see them will be amazing, but if I'm lucky enough to hug Prince Harry, it would just be phenomenal.
It was also during that tour that Meghan and Harry revealed their pregnancy, and Australians felt privileged to be among the earliest to receive such intimate news. The joy was genuine, the atmosphere was thrilling, and the couple was welcomed like a mix of famous stars and royalty. Everywhere they appeared, people showed warmth and enthusiasm, and it seemed like Australia had completely accepted them as their most beloved royal guests.
A pregnant Meghan and her husband Prince Harry kicked off their royal duties down under on Tuesday by cuddling a koala at an Australian zoo. The couple officially opened a new science institute in Sydney, mixing with locals during the first day of their packed trip. It's their first engagement since Kensington Palace announced they were expecting a baby in the spring.
But everything shifted sharply after they stepped back from royal responsibilities. The scandals that followed, the interviews, the Hollywood agreements, the Netflix films, and the never-ending media chaos gradually transformed how many people perceived them. For years, they stayed distant from Australia, occupied with building a fresh life in California and managing their celebrity existence.
Buckingham Palace has confirmed that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will not be returning as working members of the royal family. Prince Harry and Meghan stepped down from royal duties last year and moved to the United States. The couple, who are expecting their second child, have been stripped of their patronages and honorary titles, which will be returned to the Queen and distributed elsewhere in the royal family.
So when they came back to Australia this year, circumstances were nothing like before. They were no longer serving royals representing the crown. They arrived not as official representatives, but as public figures traveling for paid appearances. Leaving their Montecito estate behind, they flew to Australia without formal royal support and without major charity programs tied to the monarchy. Many Australians saw this as Meghan and Harry's effort to generate income.
Well, the Sussex's soap opera rolled into town this week, 8 years after Harry and Meghan last came down under in a trip they called the catalyst for leaving the royal family.
Even before their aircraft touched down, signs of resistance were already appearing. Australians turned to Change.org and started a petition that rapidly collected over 40,000 signatures demanding that no public money should fund their private visit. The statement was strong and obvious. Many Australians did not want government resources linked to what they considered a personal commercial journey.
An American and British celebrity couple that's heading our way, and some wags have started up this petition saying we don't want you here, but the petition demands that no taxpayer funding or official support is provided for Harry and Meghan's private visit to Australia.
The backlash reportedly took Meghan's team by surprise, pushing their representative to swiftly clarify that the visit was completely private and carried no government participation.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have criticised an online petition ahead of their trip to Australia next month. More than 35,000 people have signed the form, saying security and logistics for the pair's tour should not be taxpayer funded.
Despite the efforts to control the damage, public doubt kept rising and people began raising a straightforward question. Why were they truly coming back? When Meghan and Harry eventually arrived, the gap between 2018 and today became impossible to deny. The massive cheering audiences had vanished. The crowded streets were absent. Instead of thousands gathered to greet them, appearances were met with smaller, managed groups made up mostly of people already present nearby.
In Kilda Road, we're just opposite the shrine, and this is the crowd that has gathered just in the past sort of half an hour or so. They arrived about 3:35. A lot of them were here.
Meghan reportedly kept her public smile intact, but onlookers noticed that the mood felt very different. This was not the grand welcome she had previously experienced. Compared to the overwhelming enthusiasm of their earlier visit, the atmosphere now felt subdued, restrained, and far less spirited.
Know why they're coming.
I think it's probably really nice for them to not have to do all the royal stuff, but yeah, I guess that also means that they're not as sort of relevant, I guess, here.
Australian media channels did not hold back either. Some analysts described the visit as a cosplay royal tour, meaning it resembled a royal journey on the outside but lacked official standing and genuine crowd excitement. The comparison traveled fast, reinforcing the idea that the couple was trying to recreate royal experiences without actually being working royals anymore. On the streets, reactions appeared divided at best. Rather than enthusiasm, many residents seemed puzzled about the purpose of the visit. Some openly questioned why Meghan Markle had come at all. The strong public turnout she may have expected simply never materialized, and many took this as a clear signal that the Sussex name no longer held the same power it once did in Australia.
Can I be honest and tell you I really don't think about them at all?
Are you aware that Harry and Meghan are in Australia?
I had no idea they were coming to Australia.
Yes, I did read about it.
I wasn't aware that they were coming out to Australia at all. I haven't seen anything on the news.
Honestly, no. I did not really know they came last time as well.
I don't know why they're coming.
The situation became even more apparent during Meghan's featured event, the Best Life Retreat, which was one of the primary reasons for the journey. The gathering was designed for roughly 300 participants. Yet, reports suggested that seats did not sell out and attendance fell below expectations. The venue appeared only partially occupied, sparking questions about genuine public interest.
Meghan Markle's $3,000 a head women's retreat in Sydney has failed to sell out.
Many Australians reportedly felt that the event concentrated too heavily on Meghan herself, rather than delivering real value to those attending. There were also rumors suggesting the visit doubled as a way to launch or test her personal brand in the Australian marketplace. Some believe she was exploring commercial possibilities and measuring whether locals would support her products and upcoming ventures. I think it's going to come down to the commercial aspect you said about brand Sussex. There is talk that she's going to be bringing as ever her brand to Australia.
I think it's going to come down to the commercial aspect you said about brand Sussex. There is talk that she's going to be bringing as ever her brand to Australia. I think that we will know really whether she's won over those Aussies that maybe didn't have a strong opinion either way before when that gets launched, because it will be in the form of cold hard cash.
This created uncertainty among locals because the trip was originally presented as a speaking engagement focused on wellness. However, Meghan's schedule included visits to hospitals and shelters that some observers felt appeared staged and disconnected from the original goal of the trip. Rather than improving her image, these appearances led some people to believe the charitable moments were carefully arranged publicity moves. As public doubt increased, the visit progressively looked less like a comeback and more like a promotional campaign struggling to gain momentum. Many Australians appeared unconvinced, and the deep emotional connection from years ago seemed clearly missing. Prince Harry also encountered his own difficulties during the trip. He attended a mental health speaking event where he served as the main speaker, but reports indicated weak ticket sales forced organizers to cut prices significantly, dropping from around $1,300 to roughly $650 in an effort to draw more attendees. Even with reduced costs, the event reportedly struggled to reach full capacity.
Rockstar royals who captivated the nation back in 2018. But as Prince Harry and Meghan prepare to return here to Australia, the reception is looking, well, a little bit more lukewarm.
The price of new tickets for Harry's big Melbourne appearance have been slashed by 50% only a week before they head down under.
For Harry, the circumstances placed him in a truly awkward spot. Once celebrated as the monarchy's most beloved prince, he now appeared torn between supporting Meghan's dream of freedom and facing the harsh truth of shrinking public interest. The same prince who once pulled enormous crowds now encountered quieter welcomes, thinner audiences, and a steadily growing sense of public exhaustion.
Is that Harry and Meghan are also experiencing a popularity drop.
Observers pointed out that Harry appears trapped between two separate worlds, no longer completely royal, yet not fully accepted as an independent celebrity either. The Australia journey exposed that difficult shift in a very open manner, leaving him visibly unsettled as high hopes crashed into cold reality. The nation that once cheered for Harry and Meghan's romance now seemed doubtful about where they truly belong in its public conversation. What was planned to rebuild their popularity instead sparked hard questions about their lasting power and future relevance. So what do you think about Australia's response toward Meghan and Harry? Who do you believe is truly responsible for destroying Harry's image? Is it Meghan or Harry himself? Drop your opinions in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to FameX for more.